on Spring Garden Road.
Hello and welcome to another episode of It's on Halifax. I am one of your hosts, Mark Adam, and beside me, as usual, is the one, the only, Pat King.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back for another week of It's on Halifax. And I like how you said as usual and not always.
Well, because
you're never gonna let me live that trip down, are you?
Well, it was 2 weeks that I had to fend for myself, mind you. I had a pretty amazing guest in the My Living Will Boys.
Right.
That was a lot of fun. And Derek from Background
Derek's
Noise
always a good time.
helped me co-host another episode. So that was there were a couple of fun weeks, good times. And in that period of time, also I got to talk to John Rice Davies, and
Right, yeah.
there was a whole Halcon thing that you missed.
I remember.
Yeah, which I will also not let you
Burn in hell.
live down.
So what happened with you this week?
Well, with me, there's I've lifted my moratorium on Christmas music in malls.
Well, it is December.
It is December, and I now feel like, 'tis the season and all that. Therefore, go nuts. If I walk into a mall and Christmas music is playing, I won't get mad. I won't walk out angry. Because it is December. It's now, time to, if because a lot of people don't get a chance to spend time with their family until the holidays. So, take every opportunity to do that, with your family, hang out with them, do as much
Eat, drink,
family
and
stuff as
be
you
merry.
can. Yeah,
It's generally
exactly.
It's generally my attitude towards the whole thing. I'll spend a few days in Cape Breton, mostly imbibing eggnog and brandy and eating enough for an entire year.
Yeah, and I am I'm participating in Christmas this year with my family, as in the gift giving side of things. Typically, I don't. The last couple of years, I stayed home and did stuff by myself Christmas Day, because it's like, I'm not one of those, protesting Christmas because it's, oh my God, it's so commercial or whatever. But it does bug me, and it's nobody uses Christmas for the reason they should be using Christmas. Christmas is a time to, take advantage of the holidays and spend time with your family and spend time with your friends, and that's really what it's about. This whole, you need to go buy gifts for everyone, and every commercial is, The Source, their whole thing for commercial, their entire ad campaign drives me nuts. Because it's like, the guy walks into the store, he's like, I need batteries, and then it's like, what do you need? What can I get you? And he's like, I want a camera, I want this, I want that, I want a phone, I want a, and then at the end, it's like, their tagline is The Source. I want that. That is their entire campaign. And it just I'm like, that is what's wrong with the holidays, but society in general.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. It's not so much the holidays. But I know exactly how you feel. I told my parents for years, my family, that I was not participating in Christmas anymore. But we eventually got to a kind of a compromise, which was, I'll go home for Christmas and not be an asshole for 3 days. And not complain about Christmas, and try not to say anything too crass, and I will just be a loving son, and I will cook and drink, and that's it. I will grace them with my presence. That's my gift.
Well, and then the thing I'm doing this year, because my mom really, really wanted me to participate, we're doing a Secret Santa.
Oh.
So we got together in the middle of November and had a big, we had dinner together, and it wasn't a big deal. It was more of a buffet style, chili, whatever. And we all drew names.
Oh.
All the adults. We drew names. And we got, one of the other people there was my aunt, my uncle, my parents, me and my sister, and her brother, or her husband, my brother-in-law.
Right.
There was my grandmother, my grandfather, and my mom's best friend Judy, who is kind of like an aunt, because they've been friends since before I was born.
One of those.
Yeah, so she's so that, and we all drew names, and at Christmas time, I'm buying for one person, and that person doesn't know that I have them.
Yeah, that's how a Secret Santa works. You just explained a Secret Santa.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, but it's fun to me that because it makes it more fun. It makes it more like it really truly is a surprise. First of all, who am I getting the gift from? And then because until you know who you're getting it from, you can't even start to guess what it would be.
Suppose, yeah.
Right? So that's kind of the fun thing to me is, I don't know who's buying my present. So I don't even know how to, like, because usually when you're trying to guess, what is this person going to get me? You're thinking about, like, what is their thought process? What kind of a person is,
Yeah,
and I'm kind of hoping,
like,
and we put a limit on it, $50 is the limit. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping my Uncle Doug got me, to be honest, because he'll just buy me rum.
Yeah.
Big old bottle of rum. And I can get behind that.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying. But
we're dipping into the rum right now.
Well, yeah, it is the season.
You're a pirate. But I don't associate rum with Christmas ever.
Christmas rum.
Oh, I don't know.
Rum and eggnog. Christmas
point.
rum.
Good point.
Rum is associated with Christmas, mind you. I drink it year round. That's not the point. The point is it is associated with Christmas, and it's a good drink. And when I have rum, and especially if you're drinking rum with the family or whatever, that is, now that I'm adult, I've been, able to drink legally for 10 years.
A while, yeah.
And I'm gonna turn 30 in January. And that's another thing that bugs me about Christmas is my birthday is so close to Christmas.
When is your birthday?
The 7th of January.
Oh, okay.
So it's literally like Christmas Day, New Year's Day. Or no, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, my birthday. Those are like week. Like, if Christmas Eve is a Friday, so is my birthday.
You're gonna be up to your arsehole in gifts.
Well, no, that's not and that's the thing. Kidding. Like, that's why I don't want to participate in that. Like, I like getting presents for my birthday. I think that's cool, and I like buying presents for my friends for their birthdays, because it's and thinking of things that really represent them.
You know what I'm gonna get you for your birthday?
Rum.
A needlessly complex scheme to make you feel really, really old.
I'll be turning 30. I don't think it's really necessary.
I'm going to spend
come
an
up with
entire
a scheme.
day.
30 is a big one. It's a big birthday.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little nervous about it.
Why? It's a good age. I mean, I'm about to hit a quarter century, and I'm shitting over that.
Yeah, fair enough. 25 was a good year, though. The last birthday that I had that made me feel old was 23. It was such a weird, like, it was a good year for me, but like when I turned 23, I was like, wow, because now I'm not 21, I'm not 22, I'm 23. I'm like, wow, it's really creeping up on you.
Yeah, you're
that at 24.
24? Okay, that's fair enough. But 25 wasn't a big deal to me. 30s.
I think
even like 20, 26, 27, 28, 29, no big deal.
I'm only hitting that point here at 25, just because you 23, 24, you're like, okay, well, I'm kind of getting out of childhood and moving into adulthood, and I got to worry about building a career, and I guess I'm just coming late. I'm a bit of a late bloomer. I like to be childish, so 25 comes around and I'm like, what the fuck have I been doing the last 3 years?
Yeah, that's
shit.
fair. But I think you'll enjoy 25. 25 is it's a good year because nobody has any expectations of you at 25, and yet you've got all the aspirations and plans of any adult. Like,
it's also a physical peak for most males.
Well, yeah, mine was 17, but here we are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in other ways, I mean, you're 17 years old, you're fucking near invincible.
Yeah, well, but I mean, that was when I was, the top of the top in all the sports I played.
Yeah, but that's when you had enough time to actually participate in
physically,
sports.
I was in shape. I could run for days. Now I'm winded after playing a quarter of a soccer game. And
you play? How bad could it be? You play soccer? You've never smoked.
Well, that's true, and I'm better off than a lot of guys.
Yeah.
To be honest. But I'm also a lot bigger than a lot of guys.
Yeah, you got a lot to carry.
It's a lot of weight. Like, I'm 240 pounds.
You're a big man. You're a freight train of a man.
And people forget that when they run into me in soccer. And they don't forget it after they run into me in soccer. They get that, boom, holy crap.
I can't believe I agreed to have a chess boxing match with you.
I know, it's going to happen.
I'm going to get killed.
Although, like I said, I am slowing down. I'm almost 30.
I have been going to the gym. So hopefully I'll make some gains on you there. I'll
That's fair.
close the gap by about 5 or 6 pounds.
And I believe you will be a lot quicker.
Yes.
However, should I manage to hit you,
I will not be a happy man.
that won't be your favorite thing that happened today.
No, but you know what? After we're all said and done, well, maybe I'll checkmate you in the second round or something. I'll work
chess
on my
is going to be.
as well.
I used to be pretty good at chess, so
Fuck.
I haven't played in a long time, and I'm not saying that I'm going to win or anything.
Well, no, and
but you know where I did say I was going to win was in the vintage arcade tournament we had there yesterday.
oh yeah, a lot of smack talk. Everybody
Walking into that. Okay, let's for the people listening that are like, what the fuck are they talking about? Pat and I were both participants in a tournament at the Halifax Vintage Arcade, the Daily Suites arcade. That Dan Baldwin put together.
It was a police trainer. Tournament. I'm sure anyone who's ever been in an arcade is familiar with police trainer.
Yeah, it's the pistol gun. It's like a gun range.
Yeah, reaction
training.
time, judgment, things like that. And it was a hell of a lot of fun. A lot of people showed up. I was pretty impressed.
And I had the hardest friggin' course because I lost my first match.
Yeah.
And I'll throw it out there to the guy that eventually won.
Oh.
So I lost that match, and it was close. Actually, it was close.
It was, and it wasn't. It wasn't in the final.
No, and but I lost that match, and then I got the reverse bye, which meant I had to play an extra game to get back into the losers bracket.
The winners bracket. You were in the losers bracket. You had to crawl your way out of the losers bracket.
No, but even to get into the losers bracket again, I had to play an extra game. I had to play one extra game versus everybody else.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
brutal.
Just because the number of people that joined, it just made it an awkward.
Right.
So like somebody had to basically it randomized everything, right?
Well, yeah, he found a program to set up these round robin tournaments online, which
I think it's called Challonge.
Challonge.
CHALLONGE. Challonge. Anyway, he tweeted it, so look up Halifax Vintage on Twitter. He tweeted the results, and you can see where I placed third in the tournament.
And I got completely
You lost both games that you played.
I put up a fight.
Your first game, you were down by quite a few shields, and you
was,
held on to your last shield for a very long time.
Well, I was down. We had 6 shields total, so two credits essentially, and I lost my first 5 before I think he even lost 2.
Yeah.
And then I held on to that last shield, and I made it a 1-shield game.
Yeah.
It was the last.
Yeah,
he might have had 2.
He had 2 shields left when he finally put you away. But it was just like, holy shit! We thought it was going to be the comeback game of the day. And
I'm a comeback artist,
and it's so funny because it's like it's this crazy old vintage arcade game, but everybody was so intense about it, as if it was a boxing match, and you were like. You were coming back from, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was just...
Everyone roots for the underdog.
It was fantastic.
The last fighting game tournament at the grand opening, actually, when we were playing Marvel vs. Capcom, I was in the final match with Dan O'Coin as
By the way,
Zadim on Twitter.
He's the guy that beat me the second time in the semifinals after I had beaten everybody along the way.
The guy's good. What can I say?
Yeah, but he did get schooled at the end.
Oh yeah,
that made me feel happy.
Wasn't even close.
So Dan O'Coin, you got schooled.
Yeah, check him out on Twitter at Zadim. I think it's ZAEDUM.
It's either ZAEDUM or ZEADUM.
Really, guys?
Oh, whatever. Zed.
Sorry to you people who are Canadian
ZA
police out there.
Jesus.
Grammar Nazis in Canada here.
But I remember
we're sitting on the Chesterfield, so I guess, and we might as well say Zed.
It's lovely.
Sorry, Emily's giving us shit for saying Z instead of Zed.
Yeah, you just wait until we plug our Twitter accounts at the end.
Yeah,
that's
Little
right.
Miss.
Mic today, no one can hear me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
no one can hear
she's getting
Emily.
Upset because she can't be heard today because she doesn't have a mic.
I'm glad she can't be heard.
I know, it makes us
saying Z instead of Zed.
It gives us all the power. What was that, Emily? Emily just said that she hates, I don't know, cats. I don't know. What do people like that would make... Never mind.
Cats are a good one.
You shouldn't have put extra rum in my glass.
I disagree.
And here we are. But anyway, so yeah, that was. I thought that was a lot of fun.
I'm excited for next week, the Marvel vs. Capcom tournament. That's my favorite game they've got there.
I'm excited to see these guys keep shooting videos, promo videos.
Yes.
I really want to see what one of those promo videos because they've got the green screen, special effects.
We're adding fire. We made Dan O'Coin fly at one point.
I love everything about what you guys are doing, and I want to see the finished product. Having seen the original shots, I'm like, how are you going to make this happen? But I'm very excited.
It's Kevin actually messaged me on Facebook. I was sitting there editing the full version together, and he was working on a couple of the major effects shots, and he goes, "You're going to be all teeth." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yes, it's coming together really well." So I can't wait to see it. We're going to be working all week and hopefully have it up by maybe Thursday. Give us a couple of days out from the tournament.
I want to throw it out there. Since we are talking about the Halifax Vintage Arcade, on Twitter, Halifax Vintage it's all one word. Look them up on Twitter.
He's very active. You can get in touch with him at any time of the day on
Twitter.
They've
constantly got contests going on.
And their deals for Christmas. If you've got any gamer in your life,
or if you're a corporate event, you want to have your Christmas party there. Open it up to if you have like a couple employees that really like video games. He'll put it on free play for you. Depending, he'll negotiate a cost for you depending on how long you want to be there, how many people, blah blah blah.
But also, you can also get packages, $30. That it'll get you a Halifax Vintage Arcade T-shirt, as well as a token for I believe it's a free hour with you and a friend.
He's got crazy deals. Facebook as well. Look him up. Do a search for Daily Sweets Vintage Arcade on Facebook, and that's.
I talk about this arcade all the time, even at work, and I talk about it so much at work that my project, I work with a tech support company, so there's a lot of geeks around. I come in and somebody asks me, "Hey, did you see the memo on the front page?" I say no, so I go check it, and it's general Christmas announcements, but then there they are, plugging the arcade and the arcade's deals. Because somebody took it upon themselves to get in contact with Dan after hearing me talk about it, and talking about all these promos and things I'm making. I was really glad to see it too. I think people will be interested in it, especially where I work.
Yeah, so definitely check them out. Follow them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter.
And before you do that, just stop down there. Just take a look at it. Put some quarters in. It's good times.
Yeah,
it's jokes.
Yep. Also, just want to throw it out there. If you are listening live, tweet us. Use the hashtag IOHPC, which stands for It's on Halifax Podcast. Or you can post right on the Facebook wall. Emily's monitoring that throughout the whole episode.
We can see it. It's right there.
Also, if you're listening to this later, you can still tweet at us. Same hashtag. Go to Facebook. Facebook.com/It's on Halifax. Emily actually posted a question. Adam's favorite holiday drink is rum. Because it is.
Yep.
What's yours?
Ooh, holiday drink. Last year, I got hooked on this stuff called Spice Box Whiskey. It's spiced whiskey, kind of like spiced rum. Big vanilla nose to it, spicy finish. And I was drinking that with eggnog all last year. I must have went through almost a dozen quarts of it in 2 months. It was kind of gross. But I like brandy.
That's excessive.
I like brandy.
You're a brandy guy?
I really like brandy.
Christmas time is a brandy
Christmas
thing?
time. It's what I associate with Christmas now.
And fair enough.
Yeah.
I've never been a big brandy guy, but I don't think I've found a brandy that I really like.
Well, I go home.
You are going to have to try and find a good brandy that I will enjoy, and I'll sit and drink a bottle with you.
That's what I do for Christmas. I only spend generally between 3 and 5 days at home, so I will buy a really nice bottle of brandy, like an expensive bottle of brandy, and I'll sip it for days. It goes down really nice, especially with eggnog.
Well, and that's really how it should be.
Yeah, it's a really complex drink, and to drink brandy out of a snifter and straight on its own, it's definitely an acquired taste.
Well, and that's the thing. What do you mix brandy with for people who don't want to drink it straight? Brandy isn't really a mixed. You got to really like brandy to drink brandy.
You do, yeah.
And it's kind of like fortified wines
or gin.
Gin.
Gin's a very polarizing subject for most people.
You might as well just feed me pine needles.
I know. Some people hate
gross.
it. Some people love it. But drinking it, it's one of those things that you don't really drink straight.
Emily
I
loves
really
gin.
do enjoy gin.
In high school, we used to buy lemon gin, and
I was
I don't
gonna
know
say
a
this
single
exact
guy.
Same thing.
I don't know a single guy who drank it.
Nope.
It was
we
all
used to call
about
it,
feeding it to the girls.
We used to call it panty remover. Yep.
That's liquid panty remover,
Yeah.
and you gave it to girls.
Cheers to that, sir.
It was just, and I don't know why, because girls were like ape shit for this stuff, but as soon
Well-
as they had 3 or 4 drinks, especially I guess in high school,
Boom.
it was just like, wow,
Slutty
McGee. You are promiscuous suddenly.
Yep.
What happened?
Some people are angry drunks. Some people get really angry on whiskey or whatever.
Well, and dark rum has this bad stereotype of being the fighting drink. It makes people want to fight. I drink a lot of dark rum.
Yes, you do. But you're a teddy bear. You're a big teddy bear.
I don't get in fights.
No, neither do I.
I don't.
Although I
don't
Jack
know.
Daniels. Jack Daniels does that to me.
JD get you
I
friggin'
will
ornery.
fucking fight a dude. It gets me. I don't know. I get cocky. It's not that I get angry or I get scrappy. I just start
just
not
feel
budging
invincible.
on things. You know, I just start getting really convicted about the littlest thing, and I start getting a little. It puts a chip on my shoulder.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I don't drink too much of it anymore. I don't drink too much like hard liquor because I got a taste for whiskey. I really really liked just
I'm not
whiskey.
a whiskey
just
guy.
like I would drink glasses of whiskey.
See, I used to go to Scotch and cigar nights. I don't like whiskey.
Delicious.
I love cigars, but a good cigar and a really good rum. I like a rum and coke mixed properly. People's problem with rum usually is it's not mixed properly for them.
Yeah,
Everybody has their own mix.
I put an extra shot in your drink, and that's the first thing you said. You're fucking up my flavor, son.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I have like when I'm at home, I know how much rum and how much pop to put in. When I drink at bars, I have to get a double in a short glass because
And that's how you mix them at home?
that's the flavor. I like a 50-50 mix if it's the right rum, mind you.
True. We were talking about Brugal yesterday. I want to pick some of that up.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, that's
That's
good.
what I drank in the Dominican when I was there for
Yeah.
my all expenses paid,
Oh, yeah.
drink all you want.
I know those.
All you can drink is not something they ever should have said to me.
No,
'Cause
that was me
I-
in Cuba.
I got my money's worth.
And I was there. I was in Cuba with just my father, so I was like, I would park myself. I took it as an opportunity to relax and get work done. So I would just sit on a patio
And I'll tell
with
you-
a book and just get loaded.
I loved the Dominican, and I found out something. If you go to a 5-star resort in Cuba, the food you're eating is Dominican.
Yep. Yeah.
It's imported from Dominican, the Dominican Republic. It's cooked by Dominicans. It's served all by the Cuban people that are there, and they say it's Cuban, but it's not.
No, not
it's
even
actually
close.
Dominican food. And the food in the Dominican when I was there was ridiculous.
Yeah?
And the rum, Brugal in particular,
Oh yeah.
it was so smooth. So smooth. I was drinking like 2 double rum and cokes every half an hour. It was because it wasn't harsh. It
Because
didn't-
you could lift your hands, snap your fingers, and you'd have them there. They'd magically just appear. Fantastic.
I need to go back.
I know, right? And it's really not even that expensive.
I know, and that's the thing about the Dominican. It's not expensive, and it's especially with like all the shit going down in Mexico, like tourists getting killed. And,
Right.
and
The drug cartels. And
Cuba is, it keeps losing ratings based on, the food isn't very good. And
they're also rebuilding after Hurricane Sandy. Most people kind of forget that.
No. I'm talking, this is before Sandy ever happened.
Oh, I know.
All the travel sites, were going away from Cuba because the food was never good unless you went to a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah,
a
5-star
5-star
resort.
which was way more expensive in Cuba. And then even then, they were feeding you Dominican food.
Yeah, well, the one that we went to was, I think, a 4-star resort, but they had 5-star restaurants on the resort, but also a buffet that they ran all the time that wasn't fantastic, but you'd have to get reservations at all of these other restaurants that were on the resort, and it would take you fucking forever. You'd have to wait 3 days to get into one.
Yeah, that was the thing about the Dominican. We stayed on a 5-star resort in the Dominican, so we got the best of the best. It was all the best rums. The food was amazing. I didn't eat one single meal where I was like, I'm not satisfied with this, with
Yeah.
that meal.
You're killing me here. Winter right around the corner, and we're talking about sipping rum in the Dominican. It's fucking cold outside.
Winter
right
is
now.
not around the corner. It was frickin' cold yesterday.
Yeah, it kicked me square in the ass yesterday.
It was -10 when I was
out shooting at I'd say about 8 o'clock was by the time we got to the arcade.
Ugh.
So we spent between 8 o'clock and 1 o'clock outside.
Yeah, no, I can believe that. I really do.
It was chilly.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, let's go switch to sports for a second.
Ooh.
There's some good news and there's some bad news in the sports world, folks.
What's the good news?
Well, the good news is that Green Bay won. I'm wearing my Green Bay Aaron Rodgers jersey. They just won their game. They needed that because last week was awful. Stupid Giants.
I remember that. You swore so
Eli
much.
fucking Manning. Anyway.
Hey, see?
Whatever, shut up. Don't judge me. So that's some good news. Also, local fans. Oh my God, are the Mooseheads good? They beat the shit out of Chicoutimi the other night, 7-1. I was there for that. They're playing right now. I'm not sure. Maybe Emily can look up the score for us in the QMJHL. But they're playing right now, and man, they're just on fire. They've got 3 losses. 3 frickin' losses, and that's pretty impressive if you ask me. They've lost 1 shootout, and then I think they have 2 legitimate losses. They have 22 wins. They're ranked number 1 in the country.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's just they're doing really, really well. And for all of you out there that are pissed about the NHL still. It's not happening. Get over it. Move on.
What NHL?
Buy some tickets to the Mooseheads. Go see some of the up-and-coming talent. Nathan McKinnon, Jonathan Drouin, Martin Furk, Zach Fucali, Frigg. They have a whole slew of players that are just fantastic.
You know, I haven't heard anything about the NHL in weeks.
It's because there's nothing going on in the talks.
Good.
There's less than nothing. They're going backwards, I think. So fuck those guys, fuck their billions of dollars, and support something local that is ridiculously entertaining. The Halifax Mooseheads, when they're bad, are entertaining. The Halifax Mooseheads, when they're good, I mean, come on, guys, $15 for a ticket.
What?
$15 for a ticket. $21 is the most expensive ticket you can buy in the building.
I didn't know that.
The Mooseheads are a great way to spend the day with a date, with just with the family. If you got kids, whatever, it's a great way to just grab a couple of buds and go.
Next week, can we go get stupid drunk at a Mooseheads game?
I go every week and get drunk at a Mooseheads game. I actually got this on Friday night. I got a new hat.
Oh yeah, that is a nice hat.
It is kind of nice. I like the little.
I like the Halifax thing on the side there.
Yeah, I like. This side here is the Halifax thing. It's got the Mooseheads logo on the side. Nice little Reebok hat. It's air in the back.
You love you some hats.
I like hats.
Yeah, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just looking around the room right now, I can see 6 hats, and that's not the tip of the iceberg.
Which point?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just find it strange.
Fair enough.
You're like a woman with shoes.
Hey, that's not at all how it is.
That's exactly how it is.
That's not at all how it is. Shut up. Anyway,
Yeah.
Hate you. I think we're approaching the 30-minute mark here. I think we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I will give you the bad news in the sports world. Some of you may already know some of the stuff going on with a particular NFL player.
So if for some reason that you're standing while listening to this, and once we come back from the break, you should be sitting.
Yes,
if you care at all about
if you are listening, right now live, or if you're listening to a recorded version, go to our Facebook page and have a peek at why is that a thing this week, because we're going to talk about that when we get back from our break, which we will take right now.
You want your special day to be just right, right? Well, so did I. I called A2 Canada, and all the little details took care of themselves. An audio-video setup, photographer, and even a videographer, all working as a team to capture the memories I cared about. Oh, and I saved a bundle by getting them all in the same place. You should try it.
A2 Canada. Professionalism you can count on.
Oasis, epic sports pub, where you don't have to spend a lot to get a lot.
Yeah, I had to walk around my house plugging drafts. Windows.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's just the worst.
See, that window's kind of bad. And
The
the
one-
bathroom.
The one in my kitchen, it was like a breeze. It was huge. I had to stuff a cloth all through the top of the window. It was just
I've
not
really
good.
had that problem. Trying to think, I'm hungry.
You have any craft dinner?
You know what? I probably don't. It's on my, like, I have a big grocery list right now, and craft dinner's on it.
We have one comment on the what's your favorite drink?
Which is?
Says
Who's it by?
Melody and Klein.
Melody Klein?
Is it someone you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's
Eggnog martini, amaretto, eggnog, cinnamon, and rum.
Nice. I'm bringing that up on the movie back.
My mother fucking loves amaretto. It's funny because she was never a drinker until about a year or two ago, and now come the holidays, she's just snapped on amaretto all day, and it makes me laugh. I love her to death.
I gotta buy myself a tripod.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what I'm gonna get first though, a mic or a tripod. Mic's cheaper.
Mike's not cheaper.
Mine's
Yeah.
not cheaper than a tripod.
Not a good
Yeah.
one. That's $130.
I know.
That's a cheap one.
I know.
I have a decent tripod and it was only like $60.
I know. I need a fluid head tripod.
Oh,
For
well, those
filmmaking.
Are like $400.
I know.
Different.
Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that.
I know. I've priced it all out. I should say the mic I'm looking at is cheaper than the tripod I'm looking at.
So yeah.
I really need a Halifax vintage t-shirt. I can't believe I don't have one yet.
I want one too.
Oh, I totally thought about getting myself a beer advent calendar.
What?
A beer advent calendar.
It has a different beer in every.
No, it's just a 2-4.
Oh.
It's an adult advent calendar. You buy a 2-4 on the 1st of December.
Asking you something.
Oh my god. Sound like somebody stepping on bubble wrap.
My knees. There we go. There we go. Shut up. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you.
I'm hungry. What am I eating when this is over? Fuck you, Pat. You dirty bastard.
Yeah, I'm awful. I don't know.
You only got one cider for yourself?
It'll take me like the episode or more to drink.
I mean, it's the size of her forearm.
Yeah, but her forearm's tiny.
Yeah, it's about three quarters the size. One of these will do me for the night.
What do you have to make?
I don't know. I got eggs. I can do one of these like chicken teriyaki eggs. I fucking love them. They're great. They're delicious. What's
You're
that?
a great friend.
What's that old play? No Exit. Hell is Other People.
Yeah.
What was it?
It's a Sartre play.
Very existentialist.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
About 4 people trapped in limbo basically together, and that's their hell.
Because hell is other people.
I like that.
There's a really good monologue that I want to do. I'm not old enough yet.
Thank you, sir.
You're not what?
I'm not old enough to play the part.
Doesn't matter. You can act old enough.
No, but I wouldn't be cast in that part.
Oh, in that role. Yeah. But you could learn the monologue for like auditions and stuff.
No, they prefer you to do stuff within your age range.
I got the part in 39 Steps by doing some weird monologue from some obscure play that was written by some guy in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, then again, he made me read the actual play in a cold read. He really liked how I did it.
Oh, so did I. I also read, not only did I do, what's her face? The first woman. Can't remember.
What are you talking about?
The character, the first female character that he meets.
Oh,
Why can't I remember her
it's
name?
German.
Yeah, the German woman. Anyway, so I read her part, but then he had me stay and read for the next woman to come in, and yeah, I read Hannah after that. So
Funny enough, I read Hannah. And then he gave me the part of Hannah.
I didn't think I was going to get anything. Anyway,
I was excited. That was a lot of fun.
I missed that show. It's like, well, what?
Community theater is a lot of fun to do.
Okay, I'm bringing the video back.
Hi, and we're back. And as I said before the break, I have some bad news in the sports world. You may have read about it. There's a bit of a big
Bit of a murder-suicide.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Javon Belcher, who plays he plays linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. He killed his girlfriend and then himself. I'm gonna read a little bit of the article here. Javon Belcher had already killed his girlfriend and sped the short distance to Arrowhead Stadium, right past a security checkpoint guarding the entrance. Upon finding his bosses, Belcher thanked general manager Scott Pioli and head coach Romeo Crennel for giving him a chance in the NFL. Then he turned away and pulled the trigger. So he was 25 years old. His girlfriend was 22. They were on again, off again. And no one's really sure if it was like a crime of passion or if it was related to the whole head injury scandal. And
Yeah, well, I mean, I was reading a bit about it, and apparently Belcher had a bit of a history of violence even before the NFL, even before his college days in high school and things like that. He was always a pretty troubled person. But it's hard not to make a connection with his position, specifically linebackers. There's a history of linebackers or athletes who are in harm's way and who sustain a lot of concussions, having behavioral problems.
yeah,
So it's,
it was but I mean, that's a hugely sad piece of news. I mean, they had a 3-month-old girl.
Yeah, see, that's the worst.
Yeah, and I mean, at no point, I guess, when he was talking to the owner and the manager or whatever, he didn't threaten them in any way. He didn't seem like they were really confused, I guess, by what they were saying. He just thanked them for everything they had done for him, and then he just killed himself.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes.
Which brings to mind something that actually yesterday, when you and I quickly had talked about this, you had mentioned Chris Benoit.
Yeah, the Canadian
wrestler.
crippler.
And he had, he killed his whole family and then himself.
Yes, that was an even worse murder because he killed his young, I believe it was his young daughter.
But he just,
but he had
there was
a
so
history
much
of massive concussions.
Well, and that's
numerous.
the thing, like, and that's why they're not sure. They're not sure yet, like, what caused this whole thing. If it was like a crime of passion or what, or if it was a result of the number of head injuries he had received.
From what I read, it wasn't really premeditated, and they had a history of infighting and whatnot, domestic violence. Nothing ever convicted, but apparently they never really got along quite well all the time. But it's definitely worth reopening the discussion about that whole situation.
Well, and there's a lawsuit still going against the NFL right now for head injuries and by retired players who think that not enough was done and still is not being done to prevent those kinds of injuries.
I couldn't agree more. A lot of the times, they're told to walk it off, or they're not diagnosed properly, or it's just completely swept under the rug. And it's a culture of stoicism as well, the whole NFL thing, Everyone wants to be able to walk off the field and say they're okay and all that, but
yeah,
concussions are A, extremely dangerous, and B, fairly asymptomatic, unless they're very, very bad, at which point you'll start throwing up and get dizzy and things like that. So unless it's a major concussion, generally these players can just completely ignore it. And whether or not they're told by coaches or doctors to do so is kind of, I guess, where the lawsuit is.
Well, not just that, but I think the whole are there enough rules within the game itself to help protect against? Now they have this like no hits to the head and things like that. Like they're doing what they can, but is enough being done?
Well,
is
it's a contact sport.
Always.
There's some degree of danger in it, and there's always going to be.
Yeah.
So you can do what you can to minimize them, and it's not so much preventative, I don't think, because you want to try and minimize them, sure, but you want to take care of the players who have had concussions. You want a complete transparency in their medical procedures and things like that. And I think forced retirement for some of these players is something that should be considered. After 3 or 4 concussions, you're done.
Yeah. And that makes sense. But
go home, live your life. Behave, raise a family, be happy. Don't fucking run yourself into the ground with half a dozen concussions and then lose it.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, today is Sunday. It's football day, and the Kansas City Chiefs played.
Yeah, they had a moment of silence. But I found this interesting as well. They had a moment of silence not for their player, but for the victims of domestic violence. They would not give a moment of silence for a murderer.
That makes sense. It's just it's a totally tragic story.
Yeah, and I'm
but
sure.
But they decided to play the game anyway today. This happened yesterday morning, by the way. It's not like it happened a couple of days ago. This happened yesterday morning. Like he drove into Arrowhead Stadium yesterday morning. This is a typical Saturday. Guy drives to work after having just shot his girlfriend to death, and thanks his boss for the opportunities he'd given him, and then takes his own life. That's super sad. Do we understand it? No. Do you have to? Do you hate this guy? There's a lot of probably bad feelings towards this guy, but what caused that? What?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out in the ensuing investigation.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of information forthcoming in the next couple of weeks, and I'd really like to know more about the situation and the development of how the hell did it go from, on again, off again. Now we have a 3-month-old to him killing her.
Yeah, and I've always had kind of a curiosity and interest towards murderers. And a lot of people do, but where this is a really interesting situation involving someone who is a linebacker, one of the most dangerous positions to play in any sport at all.
Yep.
It definitely raises some questions.
I agree.
What's Emily got on the...
Emily just brought up the score from the Halifax Mooseheads game. Currently, it is 1-0 after 2 periods of play. Halifax scored in the first period, and the shots are 25-16 in favor of the Mooseheads. I gotta say the game Friday night was pretty funny because it was 2-0, and the shots were like 10-2 for Chicoutimi, and Halifax was up 2-0.
They had 100% shot accuracy.
They scored on the first 2 shots.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
I definitely have to go check them out. They
yeah,
it sounds like some damn good hockey.
No, it's really good. Like watching the Mooseheads pass the puck around is it's a treat. If you like hockey and you like really well played hockey, watching them move the puck, the drop passes, the no look passes, they always know where each other are, and those are telltale signs from hockey fans that these are players that are gonna go places. When you don't need to look because you know this guy is gonna be there. Not only do you say that's heads up on the guy passing the puck's point of view, but if the other player is that good that you don't need to look, you can just trust that he's there. That means both of those players have a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's something
forward.
to be said for the coaching as well.
Well, and that's the other thing. But I mean, these are kids that, like the Mooseheads. You know, they made the playoffs last year. They weren't really expected to this year. They kicked some serious ass. So, yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. On the Facebook page, somebody actually answered the question. Adam's favorite holiday drink is rum. What's yours? Melody Ann Klein says eggnog martini, which is made from amaretto, eggnog, cinnamon, and rum.
I hate the specialty martinis. I hate somebody calling that a martini. I don't know. As a professional alcoholic, I'm just like, man, that's an insult to martinis. But that sounds delicious.
You would drink that. You just wouldn't put it in a martini glass.
Exactly. That is a cocktail. That is not a martini.
That's fair.
Sorry, Melody.
That's fair. All right. On to something slightly lighter. It is time for this week's Why Is That a Thing segment.
I'm excited for this because I didn't know what it was until I got here probably about 40 minutes ago.
Yes, it's been on the Facebook page. Take a second, have a peek. It is Egyptian Popeye.
Yeah, the man with the largest upper arms in the world.
Yep, and they are ugly.
They are grotesque.
I don't understand how he wipes his own ass. I don't understand. Like, why is he getting his... Because it's literally just his upper arms.
Yeah.
Everything about him is normal, except for his upper arms are ridiculous.
Well, I mean, he's a pretty thick guy because, you know, you're working your arms. You're obviously going to be working your back and chest
I mean,
at the
he's
same
pretty
time.
thick,
I mean,
but
he's a big
nothing
dude.
about him is particularly impressive.
No, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Disproportionate.
That's fair.
Yes.
Just a quick throwback to the last question. We have Daniel Haig answered the favorite holiday drink. His is a Green Russian, which is absinthe and milk.
Ugh.
Which sounds absolutely awful. So that's.
I would drink that though.
Would you?
I would try it.
I mean, I'd try it, but I would go into that with low expectations.
Well,
Let me tell you.
absinthe kind of tastes licorice-y. So, I mean, that's kind of a flavor associated with Christmas.
Yeah, I guess. But I forget the guy's name. This they call him the Egyptian Popeye.
It kind of does look like Popeye, though. Although Popeye had big forearms, not big upper arms.
Well, maybe that's the Egyptian part. I don't know. Anyway, no, he's I think his name's Muhammad Ishmael.
That sounds pretty Egyptian.
Something like that.
I would bet. That's probably like John Smith in Egypt.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I can't. If you bring up the Why Is That a Thing there on it's on Halifax. I think I put his name there.
And it's funny.
Mustafa Ismail.
Oh, Mustafa Ismail.
Yeah,
My bad.
That's
My
pretty
bad.
Egyptian.
That's pretty Egyptian.
That's
Mustafa.
very Egyptian. Mustafa. I like that.
Gotcha.
I recently started
his...
going to the gym myself, so I see a lot of these guys walking around that look kind of like him, you know.
But without
like,
the
how do you put a fucking shirt on?
I don't know. You need to see the picture because it does look absolutely ridiculous. So go to our Facebook page, or just Google the guy's name, or just Google Egyptian Popeye. And in one of them, he's actually trying to make the Popeye face, which makes him look extra crazy. He's a nut job.
It looks like somebody took his arms and flattened them.
Yeah,
like silly putty.
It's ridiculous. Like, and he's all proud of himself, and I'm like, that is the ugliest thing I have ever seen.
Well, some people have a very strange, what's the word I'm looking for? They have some strange ideas about self-image.
He's just like, the bigger this gets, the better it is. I'm like, no, you look like a fucking retard.
Well, I mean,
why would you want to look so disproportionate? Period.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like anybody who collects anything. It's, you know.
Well, like, a lot of bodybuilders, they look a little ridiculous, but it's in proportion for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part. There are some people that you're like, what the fuck? But for the most part, people are like, if they're bulky everywhere. Like, they've got muscle built. You know, they're trying to do the whole, like, rounded
We're talking
look.
the Mr. Universe
Yeah,
style.
like the fitness competitions and shit like that, and bodybuilders that are bodybuilders. This guy, this Egyptian Popeye, Mustafa Ismail, he's not a bodybuilder. He's not into fitness. He's just into having these gigantic upper arms that don't make sense.
That don't make sense.
Like, and he's like, oh, it's all natural. I'm like, okay, first of all, I don't care because you look like a retard.
B, nothing natural about that.
There is nothing natural
Mom says that's
about
gross.
that. She does say that's gross.
And it's funny, in the Google image search, the bottom right-hand image is actually a guy from... There was a documentary I'd seen a few years back called The Man with the Exploding Arms. It was disgusting. Yeah, that's the guy. Greg Valentino. He did something like that. His arms became so large that eventually the skin just tore. Like his arms literally exploded.
That is gross.
And this guy, there was nothing natural about what he did either, because he was injecting himself with a cocktail of fucking steroids.
That is...
It was, it really gross. And he talks about the culture of steroid use, and, you know, the bigger the better, that whole, the testosterone fueled kind of subculture that is bigger means better. That a lot of these gyms have. It was funny, when I went in for the introductory to the Good Life that I go to now, and I walk in and they're showing me around, and they go, we call this the testosterone room. And we kind of pause, and I'm looking around, and it's the free weight room. And
the testosterone room.
Yeah, we don't say anything for a minute or so, and he goes, yeah, you see why. I'm like, yeah, let's go back there now.
Yeah.
His favorite holiday drink is strawberry margarita, apparently.
Strawberry margarita. Really?
It's funny.
Is that a holiday drink?
That's what I was thinking. That's something you'd...
I would think that's a very summery...
Yeah. I don't drink anything with ice in it.
The word margarita just screams summer to me, maybe.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
If I drink anything over Christmas, it's hot or it's creamy.
If I drink anything over Christmas, it's beer or it's dark rum.
Yeah. I like hot toddies.
Then again, that's what I drink all the way around the year. I like, you know what? A shot of dark rum in hot chocolate.
Nice.
The hot, like, especially like if it's a really cocoa-y hot chocolate, it adds like a nice edge. It's really, and not 2 shots, fucking Pat King, Mr. Too Much Booze in One Drink.
I like Bailey's and hot chocolate.
Bailey's and hot chocolate. That's
Standard.
that's Emily. Is that your favorite Christmas drink?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, that's Emily's favorite Christmas
drink. You can put a candy cane in it and get that peppermint flavor.
Speaking of candy canes, Dan Haig was saying his Green Russian comment was just an Archer reference.
Oh,
and
he's right.
His favorite drink at any time is just whiskey on the rocks.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that.
Yeah, so he said throw a candy cane or something in there for festive effect.
Yeah, Dan and I drank a lot of rum. Or whiskey, rather. I got him kind of into drinking good whiskeys. Like, every so often we'd go to the liquor store and try out a new scotch or a new whiskey and just bring it home and drink it in tumblers and class it all up. Watching Archer.
Can't
wait for it to come back.
And I love it. But when that comes back, it'll be fun.
Not too long now. And then Community is coming back. That's another thing I love about Christmas. Because Christmas means the new season of television is right around the corner.
All the good TV shows are coming back. Some of them go on break this week until after Christmas.
And some of them have been on break, too. I don't know. The seasons for shows are kind of fucked up now. Like... South Park hasn't been on for a while. Like they always get halfway through a season and just stop for a while. It's strange.
Well, when you get as drunk as high as those guys do,
They don't.
I know. I figure in my brain they have to, because have you seen that show? Like,
Well,
you'd need to be high or drunk or fucked up somehow.
No, it's funny. I was
to
reading
come up
about
with some
this.
of the concepts. But,
I was reading about this recently.
They're just fucked up in general.
Because the Church of Scientology essentially stalked Trey Parker and Matt Stone because of all the Scientology bashing that they were doing. And they dug through their trash and found nothing incriminating. They were like, wow, these people are just like super normal. They eat well, they don't drink too much, and they're just fucking super normal. And I was reading about how ridiculous, you say they'd have to be some kind of fucked up. They release those episodes, they do one a week. They from concept to finish takes them a week. Sometimes they only get it in for broadcast hours before the actual broadcast. They're hand delivering.
I've heard
it to
the
the
stories
network.
about them. It's like they just finished writing the episode the night before, and they get their animators to stay up all night.
Oh yeah,
animating what they finished writing the night before and getting it in. Literally, they have to drive it to the studio to air because there isn't time to upload
anything. Yeah, they're literally driving it and dropping it off. And that's the thing. They're not fucked up. They're just sleep deprived. Sleep deprivation can do that to a person. You seem drunk, and it also helps your creativity as well, because your whole rational judgment kind of goes by the wayside once you're that exhausted.
little less inhibition.
Exactly. You're very reactionary, so you're kind of on.
And to a certain extent, like with alcohol or sleep deprivation or whatever,
speed.
To a point, you become a lot more honest.
Yeah, that's true. Drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. Something I like to say to kind of cover my tracks.
I didn't mean it, I was drunk.
I have to cover my tracks. No, but that's the thing. A drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. So you say something drunk, and it's like, well, not only did I mean it, but that's the shit I think about when I'm not too drunk to know better.
My big apology, if I say something that offends someone when I'm drunk, I'm like, I'm sorry that I said that. And they're like, so you didn't mean it? I'm like, no, I'm sorry I said that.
Yeah.
I should not have said that.
You gotta own up to it. I mean, if you're... I definitely am not one of those... I'm not one of those people who can get loaded and then the next day just be like, oh, I don't remember saying that, or I didn't mean that, or I didn't...
Sometimes I don't remember saying it, but I'm sure I did.
And it doesn't mean it doesn't count, though.
I love it. They say something like, you said this, and I'm like,
shit.
Sounds like something I would say.
Yeah.
Or would think, anyway.
Yeah. You said this. Do you have proof? Because I don't remember.
Yeah. No, that doesn't sound like something I'd say, because I don't actually think that. So I'm thinking you're screwing something up somewhere. Something got lost in translation.
Yeah. Did you ever have anyone do that to you? You get super drunk the night before, and then they fuck with you the next day?
Yeah. I've had people try it, but I don't typically lose a lot of memories.
Yeah. Me
like,
either.
when I drink, it's not like I wake up the next day and go like, what the fuck happened? Like, once in a blue moon, that'll happen. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm 29, I've been drinking for a long time. And I've been drinking a lot for a long time.
You work at a bar.
I work... Well, you know what? Since I worked at the bar, I actually drink less than before. But anyway.
No, I know, but you kind of know how, or, you see people...
You learn the lessons. You don't mix your liquors. If you're drinking rum, you drink rum. If you're going to drink beer tonight, drink beer. If you're going to drink vodka, drink vodka.
Stay hydrated.
Well, yeah, but the big thing is not to mix. Like, you get into trouble when you're drinking beer and all of a sudden somebody hands you a glass of rum and you drink it, and then somebody hands you a glass of whiskey and you drink
or
it.
Jägermeister.
Or Jaeger or something. Hold on.
Why are we holding on? What do we have?
There's a picture here posted.
Breaking news.
That says... What does it say? I'm actually not funny. I'm just mean and people think I'm joking. Which was posted by my mother.
That hits a little too close to home for me.
That's kind of like, that's really the reason I got suspended from soccer. Was because I was really mean, and there were some guys on my team that were laughing. They're like, that was really funny. I'm like, okay. Yeah. But I meant it. Like,
yeah, it was hilarious, but fuck that guy all the same.
Yeah. It's like, I hope you eat shit. Like, no, I hope you go home and you eat shit because you deserve it, you piece of shit. But anyway, I digress. Merry Christmas, everyone. It's the season for... Sorry, we went sideways there for a bit.
Yeah, but you're right though. Christmas is that time of year. Like, I had a little Christmas moment on the way over. I was.
Oh yeah. I want to hear this story.
Well, I mean, it's not even really a story. I was just running out the door because I was sitting in front of my computer editing, like you do, and you get lost in it. And so I called up a cab, and I had to stop at the corner store for the Coke that we're drinking with the rum.
Yep, which I appreciate.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. That's like you said, it's our pop, because now we're getting drunk. But I walked into the convenience store, and it was like 3:08, and the lady was just like, "Do you have the 8 cents?" And I'm like, "No," and she goes, "Ah, well, whatever," and just hands me $7 back, without busting out all that change. And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And I'm sitting in the back of the cab, and the guy's listening to Christmas music, but it's not like it's the radio, but I mean, like, you got Jingle Bell Rock and all this crap, and I generally just hate it. Like, it curls my toes, but I didn't really mind it, and it was only snowing just the tiniest little bit, and I was like, yeah, it's that time of year. It just hit me right in the face, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be like this all month.
Well, people being nice to you and.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. I didn't
God damn it! Your life is so hard, Pat.
I didn't mean for that to come out the way it sounded. Just because I'm just so used to hating Christmas. I even put lights up in my apartment.
Listen, Christmas isn't like people think I'm a Grinch because in November I'm like, fuck off with all your Christmas shit. But my big thing is like, Christmas is so commercial already. We don't need to stretch that into more months to try and make people broker. Or more broke. We don't need to steal more of people's money through advertising and pressure and, creating this sense of urgency more than a month ahead of time.
And that's why I gave up on that whole... I was just like, fuck,
and
fuck
the
that whole thing.
Same reason I don't do Christmas. This year I'm doing the whole Secret Santa thing. And if it becomes a debacle or becomes an issue because everybody's like, well, I didn't get it, blah, 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 I'll never do Christmas again.
Throw the hands up. Yep. We're done.
You know what I mean? I'm doing this because I'm trying to compromise with my family. My mom loves Christmas. I love Christmas. But if this becomes a thing where it's, you didn't get me I bought this present for you. Well, you didn't get me the right one. Or you didn't, you know what I mean? Like, can I have the receipt so I can return this? It's like, fuck Christmas.
Yeah.
Fuck Christmas.
Well, and that's
what it's going to be. Christmas should be, I'm going to go to my mom's house. I'm going to have a couple of beers or glasses of rum or whatever it is with my family. I'm going to, if there's football on TV, I'll watch some football. We'll watch some Christmas movies, whatever. Have dinner. That's what Christmas should be.
It's so much stress. You're putting pressure on a person if you buy them something and then, you end up not liking it. And then you have to pretend to be really satisfied with it. And then they can probably tell because it's not that hard to tell that someone's a little disappointed.
Yeah, when somebody opens it up and goes,
not to be.
Oh,
lovely. Oh, thanks,
thank
guys.
you. I really needed that.
Yeah, and I mean, where my family and I, it's no secret that we don't have much in common. Not at all. They still think I'm a weirdo for good reason.
I still think you're a weirdo.
Exactly, right? I'm a hard guy to buy for. Well, not really, though. But
no, you're not. New lens for your D60.
Well, there you go. A microphone. But a lot of big things and stuff that I need. But every other year, it's just like, well, here's a TV. And I'm like, I didn't need a TV. You don't. And also, it's a bad TV. It's got crappy reviews. It'll probably die in a year. That kind of thing. You got to be really. To buy gifts, you have to be a really smart shopper.
When people are buying you something that they think is awesome, they're like, they're really gonna love this, but they're buying a really shitty quality thing because they just got a deal on it, and I'm just like, we both. If you're buying this gift for me, you're getting ripped off because the present you're buying me is lower quality than what you think you're paying for it.
Yes.
So you're not getting your money's worth as a gift, and then I have to live with this piece of shit thing that you gave me
with all the best intentions.
Yeah, and you meant the best, and I needed a new TV, let's say.
Exactly.
Somebody buys me a TV. I needed a new TV. Thank you for buying me a TV, but you bought the worst piece of shit TV because you didn't read the reviews. Or
it was like the Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
There were these Easton TVs, and I went online to read about the review because they were like
You mean
200
Envision?
bucks. Or, I can't remember what it was.
Easton makes hockey sticks. Envision makes TVs.
Oh, how about that? No,
Okay.
but it wasn't even Envision. It was some fucking off-brand, a brand that I've never heard of anyway. But apparently, they were 200 bucks for a 36-inch TV or something.
Well, that's a deal.
Yeah, they're also pieces of fucking Chinese trash.
Well, that's probably why they're such a good deal.
Yeah, really. And
But that's just it. Like that, the person that buys that for you is getting ripped off because they think they're getting a deal when really that TV's not worth the $200 that they're paying for it, and then you have to deal with it when in 6 months it stops working.
And that's the thing about Christmas. They're taking advantage of people who have all the best intentions and who want to do something
And
good.
that's why I want to
feel
get
this
out of
sense of
the. I want to
urgency.
get out of the gift giving. I want to get out of the whole tradition of gift giving, except for kids. Kids
Yes.
don't understand family yet.
I think the only gift I bought last year was for 2 children, and it was Dr. Seuss books.
I have my niece. I have my nephew. I'm gonna buy them presents this year.
Well, yeah.
I buy. You know what I mean?
It's different when you grow up. Like, all my siblings now, we're above 23. So, it's not even a thing anymore.
My
I can't wait to get you into brandy. We should have a Christmas episode where we drink nothing but brandy. And
You know what? We'll do that next week.
Sweet.
I do have my mom sent me a picture that I'm gonna upload to the Facebook page. My niece and my nephew made a gingerbread house today.
Oh, that is goddamn adorable.
I'm gonna put this picture on the Facebook group or the Facebook page. You can find it. It's facebook.com/It's on Halifax.
Now I want gingerbread.
It's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna do that. That's why Christmas is a thing.
Yeah, that's super cute.
Because kids don't know any better. They don't like. Why are all these crazy aunts and uncles that I haven't seen in forever showing up out of the blue?
Yeah. I almost had an uncle of mine kill himself by climbing onto the roof and jangling sleigh bells one year. It was
make the kids happy.
It was goddamn magical.
That's awesome, and I love that. And
I think I'm warming up to Christmas.
Christmas is not. It's not. I love Christmas. I just all the right reasons for
I'm
Christmas.
still watching Die Hard on Christmas Eve, though.
Love Actually.
No,
Love Actually.
Die Hard.
Love Actually.
Love Actually is a great Christmas movie if you want to watch it like a date movie. Die Hard is the penultimate Christmas movie. It is probably the second best Christmas movie or Christmas thing you can ever watch. The most Christmas tradition movie show,
Rudolph.
whatever. I was gonna go with Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh,
That's not that good.
Rudolph is up there. Santa Claus is Coming to Town is another one that's pretty creepy but awesome.
the
Frosty
island
the
of
Snowman.
the Island of Lost Toys, I think it was called.
That's a good one.
The one with the Jack Frost,
Yes. But
the Snow Miser. That's what I'm thinking of.
Santa Claus is Coming to Town is one of those things where, like, clearly it was made in the 70s and somebody was doing a lot of drugs.
Yes.
And you're watching it and you're just like, I am on drugs now, maybe? Like, what am I watching?
You've been having a lot of those moments. Like
Yeah,
when we
well, I went
into
into the liquor store yesterday to buy a 6-pack of Carlsberg, and there was a giant bear. There was a man in a bear suit, huge bear suit, just standing right there, right when I walked in. And I was walking down the aisle, and I looked at Pat, and I'm like, you ever have one of those moments where you're like, am I high, or did that just happen?
I said every day of my life. And the woman standing, one of
The-
the
one of the
workers was
workers.
just like, "Did I just hear that?" And she looks over, and we're just laughing.
And then she looks at the bear, and she's like, right, right.
Yeah. But you do have to try that wine though, Bear Flag wine.
I love Bear Flag.
See, told you.
My mom just texted me A Christmas Carol. That's,
Ooh,
you know
yeah.
what? If it wasn't,
Oh, Muppets Christmas Carol?
no, not a Muppets
Just the
Christmas
regular
Carol.
one, but I
A
like
lot
the
of,
Muppets one.
my mom likes, like, A Christmas Carol from
Oh, from like, yeah.
this, I don't know when it was made, the 60s or whatever.
Oh, it was probably way earlier than that.
Anyway, I don't particularly care for that movie.
Catching the holiday season. What up?
My mom used to watch it on repeat every
Ooh,
Christmas.
gross.
That's what my mom does, though. She'll put a DVD. Well, it used to be VHS. She'd put in a movie and then play it, and then when it was done, she would just hit rewind, and then when it was done rewinding, she would just hit play. Like, she wouldn't put a different movie, and she just played the same movie over. Because
It's a
'Cause she
different
sits
time.
and
Rewind.
she cross stitches and she liked things she didn't have to pay attention to.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like she could look up when she heard certain things because she knew the action was about to happen. But the rest of it was all dialogue, and she could cross stitch and pay attention to whatever. And then she would hear certain cues and go, "Oh right," and then watch and then go back to her cross stitch. And you know what I mean? And I get that. At the time I didn't. At the time I used to make fun of her so bad because like there's a copy that she has of a VHS copy of The Man in the Iron Mask that. If she played it again, would just fall apart. I swear to God, because it was watched and rewound so many times. But 1961, apparently, A Christmas Carol.
It's fucked up that Rewind, just the whole...
The concept of rewinding something.
It makes me nostalgic.
Although,
you remember when you had to wait 15 minutes for the
to watch something
to
again?
go back to the beginning?
Yeah.
Find rewind stickers and
Yeah.
I used to work at Blockbuster when I was... I used to manage a Blockbuster, actually, when I was 19. And rewinding was like... We had rewinding machines.
Oh, yeah.
People would drop off their movies, and we would put them in. Like, if you look at it, not rewound, throw it in, push it down.
Charge their account.
The entire thing that this machine did was rewind VHS tapes.
Yep.
That was its purpose in life. I was just... It boggles the mind now to think of that. You don't download shit off the internet and then go, now I'm done. Time to rewind.
Yeah.
You just fucking delete the shit and it goes away.
Not only do you not have to rewind, it's like, fuck it, let's just make a copy of it. Here. Boom, done.
Oh, man, it's a different time.
I love it.
But anyway, we are well over time.
A little bit, but we were having fun.
It's all good. I had fun. Anyway,
I'm excited for our Christmas episode now.
check us out on Facebook first. Facebook.com/itsonhalifax. Twitter, It's on Halifax, all one word. Check us out on the web, www.itsonhalifax.ca. And my mom tried to rewind her first CD. Mom.
That's fantastic.
I love that you share things. This is also the same woman that when we first got a PVR in the house, one of those like pause and rewind live TV.
Yeah.
She's like, well, can we fast forward to Nash Bridges? It's on at 11. Me and my dad just lose it, of course.
I love Nash Bridges.
I love my mom. She's like one of the nicest people ever. Ever. She is. She is. But
Tech
sometimes
savvy,
she does
though?
things where you're just like,
It's a generational thing.
oh,
You know, you gotta.
oh, ow. My brain.
You gotta
I
give
think I
her
have
some
brain
slack. Cut her some
freeze.
slack.
I love my mom. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Make sure if you download us, if you subscribe in iTunes, rate and comment. www.itsonhalifax.ca is where you can find it. We're trying to get better every week. If you have suggestions, if you have topics that you'd like us to discuss, let us know. Tweet them to us. Send them messages on Facebook. Whatever you want. I'm Mark Adam HFX on Twitter.
Pat King HFX on Twitter.
Pardon me.
And you can check me out as well tomorrow. The new Classy Nads podcast will be coming out as well, where we have our first round table discussion. So it's a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of chatter. There was, I think, about 6 of us this time around. It was logistically it was a little difficult, but it makes for some good discussion. So check me out if you've got a little more time.
And don't forget to follow our controller Emily on Twitter.
And that's M Jewer at
No.
HFX. Oh wait, no, that's not.
No,
that's not it.
It should be Emily Jewer.
M Jewer HFX. No,
but it is.
That's not
It's the letters MJ_979, and that is her Twitter handle.
When are you gonna let this go?
I'm never gonna let it
Never.
go. I'm never gonna let it go. It's not getting let go. But anyway, we will see you guys next week.
Yeah, keep.
I
an
got
eye
nothing
out.
else. Have
keep
a
an
good
eye out.
Christmas season because it finally officially started. I might actually put lights in my window. I don't know.
Do it. I put some lights up in my apartment. You can't even see them from
I will,
anywhere. Like
I will put them in my front window, but I either have to buy some or have to get somebody to get me some. I don't know.
maybe.
We'll see.
And keep an eye out on Twitter for the new promo for the Halifax Vintage Arcades going up. We did a Street Fighter themed promo. It's a whole lot of fun, whole lot of special effects. It's been a learning experience, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Perfect. We'll see you next week, guys.
See ya.
This episode of It's On Halifax was brought to you by A2 Canada and Oasis on Spring Garden Road.